FIVEAA, always Adelaide. The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
It's 4:07 toward the end of the week on a huge sporting night ahead. It is all on the line for our Aussies at the World Test Championship final tonight, and it's Friday night footy in Tassie. The Crows in action against the Hawks. It's all thanks to Rusden Wines, our Footy Friday in the Barossa Valley, home of the Blackguts. RusdenWines.com.au. Timmy G, Rowey, good to see you.
Yeah, get a part of the show. 8223 0000. A bottle of Blackguts on the line. Come on, you got to get involved. Look, it's Friday night, and a couple of things will be decided tonight. One will be who is the world's best test team. Yes, either Australia or South Africa, or it's D-Day, Quad D-Day for Stephen Rose Crows. There you go. Welcome, Stephen.
Yeah, Crows.
This is it, mate.
The Hawthorn in Lonnie.
You've got three legs. This is one of the great moments in
for
sport.
Those that don't know, and I don't know how you wouldn't know if you listen, I mention it every 2 minutes.
Yep.
West Coast
We actually
into
got
Sydney,
a complaint, didn't we?
into Lions we did, into Hawks. Hawks is the last Quad D-Day. Now, apparently it's about 2 degrees now. It's going to get down to maybe 1 or -1.
That's true. I think when the game starts around about 5 and it's going to drop to 1.
Okay. I don't want to see too many long-sleeve jumpers.
Oh, it's a giveaway,
It's a
isn't it?
giveaway.
What's
isn't
the
it?
over and unders on it?
Well, if it's over 3, we can't win.
Who normally wears one?
Lockie Murphy.
Okay, so he wears one, right? He does.
He does.
Yeah.
Brody Smith.
Yep, did last week.
Yeah.
Rochelle.
Yeah,
I've seen him in the past.
I reckon they're the only 3 I could get.
So if we get one more,
I think Michael Lenny could
so
possibly.
you could. What you're saying is you could have a reason.
3 and under, we
Should the
win.
quaddie not get up?
3 and over, we have a reason.
Don't need an outdoor team.
Who needs any tactics when it comes down to that? Simple as that. Oh, look, it is going to be a big night. It's over there in Launceston, and Coach Matthew Nix, he knows it's a big game.
Well, hopefully we continue our form. That doesn't give you a result, but we've been playing some good footy, and they found their footy again last week, and people have been talking about their form not being as strong, but they've played the best teams in the competition, and we know how tough that is. So they're in good nick, we're in good nick, so it should be a great contest. It'll be a really interesting one Friday night down there. We're expecting it to be quite slippery. Had a chat to the groundskeeper, and so we're looking forward to the challenge.
The groundskeeper, I like it. Yeah. Scotty Burns is coming on.
Yes.
Want to ask him about that point Nixie just made about people have been questioning Hawthorn's form. They bounced back last week, but they did lose 3 in a row.
They did.
And they didn't look good in those. So I just want to talk to Scotty about what they saw when they were getting beaten and what they saw last week.
Correct. Well, they brought the heat. They tackled. And when they do that, on the back of that, they can attack because they're a flighty team. You give them a sniff.
Well, they
love momentum. With all those smalls, we'll talk about that with Campo.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Lockie Murphy in the 22? So he's not going to be sub. He's actually in the 22.
Correct. Oh, you mean in the 18?
Yeah.
On the field.
Well, he's on the field.
Yeah.
So when you're named on the field, you can't be sub.
You can't be.
So that means he's in the 22.
He's
Now,
a
he can
direct
start on the bench.
replacement for Peatling.
He is. Now, I'll take it up with Scotty Burns, so don't miss that. I was going to say, Burnsy, I understand the Lockie Murphy decision. I don't think the positives outweigh the negatives. Now, the positives are he's been playing a similar role to Peatling in the Sample team. He was okay on the weekend.
He's a 100-game player.
An experience. And Nixie likes to go back to that experience.
It gives you he's competitive.
He is. If it's going to be wet and on the ground, he's very, very dogged like that. But the thing that I'll be very, very disappointed about, look, they've picked him, let's back the kid in. It'd be bad to pot him. I wouldn't have made the call. I would have put Zach Taylor in all day, every day and made him sub. B. Smith has to start in the 22 because they've got all those little smalls. If Luke Pedler doesn't assume the Peatling role, now that is bench, midfield, forward, instead of forward, off, forward, off, doesn't get a squirt on ball. Luke Pedler has to suck up Peatling's midfield minutes. Now, if that doesn't happen and Murphy gets them, I'm
confused.
Well, we'll take it up with Burnsy.
Okay.
Let's wait and hear from what the experts say.
All right, no worries. Look, it's another game to finish off this quaddie, but it's another game where you want to win on the road. Here's Nixie.
Yes.
Often on the road, that's where you get your biggest challenge, those moments. You don't have the crowd to back you up, to give you energy and support, and you've got to be able to do it yourselves. And so we have been better in that space, the moments. That'll be one of those if you look back on the history of our games against the Hawks. Hopefully it's a close game, unless we're in front, obviously.
Yeah, you don't want another close loss. Yeah,
They've won by 3, lost by 3.
Yes.
That's it. The other big one, if you look at Hawthorn, they've got some dynamic little smalls that you can get lost with. They're going to have a lot of concentration, the defenders. Most of the defenders, when they hand over, look, they are, but they're very tricky, this lot. The big out for me is Warple. We talked about it, Corky's not there. Jai Newcomb's their absolute Batman.
Said that, didn't I, Janoi?
And Warple's his Robin. So we're going to make it a lot easier to call or tag or run with or attack Jai Newcomb. Now, if they can do that, God.
Yeah. Not your style, though, is it? You haven't been hard taggers as a club.
No, not through the midfield. Berry's gone to players like Neil at stoppage. They might do the same.
Yeah, but it's not hard.
Yeah, well, not with him. I reckon you can do a job on him.
Newcomb is a ball winner, so I'm looking forward to that clash tonight.
Yeah, can't wait.
Josh Carr, he's did the presser this week, and he's actually spoken about the challenge they'll have against big Maxi Gawn.
When you look at Max and you think about what performance is going to happen this weekend, you assume that he's going to play a really good game. So the way we prepare for it and around that, obviously Dante's been really good for us, and then Sweetie's gone back to the Magpies and performed extremely well. So when it comes to selection and preparing for this game, it's about winning, this weekend, and a good headache to have with a bit of selection pressure.
There you go, a bit of pressure there. Won't surprise me if they do play 2 rucks now on the back of that. So
I would.
See how that goes Sunday afternoon at Adelaide Oval. Hello.
I'll turn my mic on. Teams at 4:30 as well for Port Adelaide, so we'll find out from all their changes what they're actually going to do.
Yeah, correct. So we'll be able to announce that.
A debutant, apparently.
Manny Liddy. That's almost a tick. I think that's all.
And Horn Francis has returned to the squad.
So that means another person has to come out of that lineup. So we'll see who that is. The World Test Championship, as we know, is on. I don't think it's going to last 5 days. Just a rough guess. We've had 14 wickets fall each day. It has been a bowler's deck. There's no doubt about that. But
I told you they were our bunny.
Pat Cummins was amazing. I thought his bowling performance was incredible. But when we needed, because it was looking shaky in that second dig, we needed somebody to stand up.
Kez.
It was our man, Alex Carey. Here's the captain on it.
It seems like number 6 and 7's, always the trickiest place to bat. Trav Head's done over the years. Bo's played some crucial knocks lately, and Kez has been brilliant. He's dragged us out of that. He bats brilliantly with the tail as well, kind of leading that partnership. So again, another valuable partnership when, puts the pressure back on the opposition when it seems like, they're on top. So, he was brilliant today.
It ended up getting us over the 200 mark, which I think was pretty vital to make sure of that. Look, if we can get some more today,
even a little 20,
it'd be very pleasing. And then we've got to get into that top order, because just what I have learned from that first innings is the South African tail is woeful.
Yeah,
it stinks.
Can't bat.
So I reckon if we can get the 4 or 5 out, and then move to that tail, I reckon we've won the game.
So we're 218 in front, 2 wickets in hand. Again, 230 plus would just about guarantee it.
Yeah. Let's just get the wickets.
Imagine at 10:30 we've won that World Test Championship. The Crows beat Hawthorn.
Well,
I wonder if there's a little production piece that's going to go.
Well, you never know. Something's going to blow off its lid. Here's Paddy Cummins on the lead.
Well, initially, probably when I walked out, anything over 200, so good to get over that. But you just want to get as many runs as you can. Happy that we've got 200. Hopefully we get another 20 or 30 in the morning. That'd be good. I think that would give us a few more options to bowl, a few more aggressive fields and those kind of things. So, see how we go, but happy to have it over 200.
All right, give us your thoughts on team selection for the Adelaide Crows. They already know their lineup. What should Port Adelaide do? Let's see how we go. The World Test Championship and that handling the ball incident last night could have been another controversy at Lords. 8223 for that bottle of black guts, Rusden.
Scotty Burns is going to join us straight after the break from the Crows. Jason Gillespie on the World Test Final. We have incoming Wallabies coach Les Kiss in the studio with us tonight, and Terry McAuliffe as well with his tips for the weekend. But your calls very soon, 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Our state can be proud of its unique businesses, big and small. Let's celebrate them with FIVEAA's Best of SA.
Calvary is a special part of people's lives. They're here to support, heal and comfort with their comprehensive range of home care, aged care and hospital support. Calvary, celebrating 125 years of caring for the South Australian community.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Ray White Business Sales and Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Built like a brick house. Basic trailers are your best mate for any load. Use the code FIVEAA to pay only $1 for rego on purchase of your new trailer. True Blue deal at Paraka. Basic Trailers. Basically, better.
Finding the perfect Volkswagen is easy at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. Even easier during their end of financial year sale. Choose from a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options. On-site finance and next-day servicing. How easy is that? Too easy. Get a great drive-away deal during the end of financial year clearance. Ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Okay, just before we get on to the marvellous Para Hills Community Club, Darren just texted in and said, did I hear Tim say the game starts at 5? No, Darren, it's going to be 5 degrees when the game starts in Launceston.
Yes,
and
the
it probably
switcher is
finishes at about 1. No, that's understandable. That could be, you could just be driving or something and go, did he say 5?
No. Yeah, he's driving, concentrate.
No,
switcher is on.
Darren he's
Get
listening.
all your senses right.
I like him. He's a listener.
Watch the road.
Rightio. Now, your new local has been freshly renovated and relaunched. You know this.
That is right. The Para Hills Community Club, we were out there, has more to offer than ever before. It's so fresh. The paint's there. The view, the al fresco, the outdoor, the indoor. That front bar, it'd be 100 metres long.
Oh, I tell you. And
it is a ripper, isn't it?
And I went all the way down it. Now, Para Hills Community Club is a social hub that brings people together for classic hospitality experiences. Now, whether you're heading in for a family meal, letting your hair down, a few drinks with mates, some live entertainment perhaps, or looking for an exceptional function space, the crew look forward to seeing you.
They do. They're a great crew. And if you're a northern local looking for your people, become a member and join the community for great discounts and specials.
And the food was awesome, let me tell you. They hung around and had a great meat platter.
How's that big...
that was the meat platter.
Oh, God.
Good
That was good.
That?
They had mortadella.
Yeah. Oh,
hey.
He's a funny fella who likes the mortadella. Get down to your new local, the Para Hills Community Club, Bridge Road, Para Hills.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove, with everything from the ground up. Plants and instant lawn, mulches, soils and bark, landscape and building materials, hardware, pavers and more. There's a playground for the kids while you enjoy coffee or lunch in the cafe. Garden Grove, Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove. Open 7 days. Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to your area.
Garden Grove, the garden that I want.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Kangaroo Island. It's closer than you think. Wilder than you know. More than you imagined. This winter, get a free night on selected 3 and 4 night stays. Book your Kangaroo Island ferry and accommodation at sealink.com.au or call 13 13 01 today. Terms and conditions apply.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
8223 is the number for Rusden Blackgut Shiraz on our Footy Friday. Crows fans, you're confident they can complete Rowey's quaddie tonight. We will get your calls on the air very shortly. All thanks to Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted. We have custom design, fixed pricing and total peace of mind because trust is a must. Let's check your roads first.
At Regency Park, a breakdown to look out for South Road near Grand Junction Road. Delays are clearing here, so that's good for this afternoon. Works at Panorama, fixing a burst of automated at the moment. Goodwood Road near the cemetery, and another burst getting fixed at Ross Trevor. It's on Glen Stewart Road near Moles Road, smooth 25 through there. Getting busy at the moment, Railway Terrace at Keswick with a camera, Hargrave Street at Birkenhead. If you're on regular medication, get your prescriptions at Chemist Warehouse and save more money every year. To find out how much you'll save, head online to chemistwarehouse.com.au/prescriptions. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Well, Campo and I are super excited about tonight's game. Crows have another great test. It's Hawthorn in Lonnie. It'll be live tonight on 5AA. Joining us, Crows forward coach Scott Burns. Scotty, welcome.
G'day, man. How you going?
So is it just the one Peatling out, Murphy in?
Yeah, had a few travellers, but at this stage, yeah, everything's as known. We'll go ahead with that team tonight.
Okay. Can you talk us through the Murphy selection?
Yeah, we've just with Peatling. Now, Peatling's played a lot of on ball lately, so we certainly want to give Rankin and Rochelle a fair bit in there tonight. Which Rankin's played a fair bit early, Rochelle not quite as much. So we're really keen, looking forward to that. Wet ground. It's going to be a little bit slippery over here, just from the dew, not the rain. And we really think Josh is ready to go to take his game to another level. Even though he's been brilliant in front of goal, he'll still get down there. They'll share that duties, midfield and forward. And we need that. We want that pressure forward because this team tonight, to those that have watched them, their run and gun off half back is their weapon. So. And we've had probably Neil Bullen a little bit more wing time as well lately. He's been a bit split between the forward line and the wing. So we certainly want Lockie and Keezy to really patrol that area. So the likes of Amon, Impey and Weddle can't get the game on their terms.
So it suggests that a similar role to what Keezy's done the last couple of weeks. He put Zorko to bed and so too Blakey. There'll be a role on that half-forward line, yeah?
There'll be roles, but there's probably 2 or 3 players. We've targeted the one player generally from the other team who we think are really influential. This Hawthorn team, no matter where you look, especially, it's probably similar to forward of the ball. They've got their small forwards that are all dangerous. There's 2 to 3 of them up there. We certainly think there's 2 or 3 really dangerous running half-backs that we just need to take out of the game.
Yeah, right. I was kind of hoping maybe Luke Pedler assumed a bit of Peatling's midfield minutes.
Oh, look, we're really happy with Peds the way he's going. He's been a little bit interrupted with some soreness through his knees and that in the early season, and it was good having a chat to him the other day. He said this is the best he's felt for a long time. There's an opportunity there. He's definitely played as a junior. He's a very good midfielder, and he's played a little bit of time in the past. But I think it's just, at this point in time, everything's going really well with him. Let's just get him settled in there. And once again, if you're talking about bash and crash and competitiveness forward of the ball, he can certainly supply that for us as well.
Hey, Birdsey, I heard Nixie say that Hawks, their form hasn't been great and the like. He said they'll really bounce back beautifully last week, which I thought they did. They did have some games that they lost, though. Did you look at those ones and sort of say, OK, this is where you can get them?
Yeah, we looked at all of them. I think there was a reasonably significant turnaround in that game they played last week, though. Especially when you look at their pressure on the ball. So we're expecting that. I would say that even if you speak to Hawthorn, they're probably a bit disappointed with 2 or 3 weeks. They dropped away themselves. You never want to take anything away from the opposition, but certainly watching those games, it was a different Hawthorn from earlier in the year, and especially that last game they just recently played last week. So, we're expecting a lot of focus on that game last week. Once again, these conditions where the ball's going to be on the ground a lot, and there will be a little bit of double taking. The ability to close down space and pressure, I think, is going to really determine the game today. And on the flip side, if you're good enough to drive through that tackle and be clean, can really set your team up for opportunities to score.
Rory Laird was a horse. He enjoyed the spell. Bounced out of the gates, didn't he? Yeah,
he's had a terrific year. Look, he's, obviously a star midfielder for quite a while, with big numbers getting in there with us all the time. With the inclusion of Peatling and giving Rankin more time, we certainly said to him at the end of last year, it's probably going to look like more than likely that you have to go back. And if you talk to Jack Comsh, he's loved him back there. I reckon his leadership, his selflessness, and but get back to your point, it really pleasing. Have the week off, freshen up, and it's hard to catch players getting that break right. You try and get it in before they start to drop away, and I think we got that pretty well spot on with Letty last week. Yeah.
Will you set certain defenders for certain players? I know Michael Annie's always that, but they're very dynamic, this mob. They got Watson, Ginnivan and Moore, McDonald. I don't have to tell you them all. They swap through the ring. They get up the ground. You lose them coming back because you've got to hand them over to someone else. And if any team can get forward of the ball and just bulk towards goal, it's them. That's going to be a big part of the game, Burnsy.
Yeah, there's certainly matchups that you want. If you think players are ideally... they match up with those dangerous opposition forwards specifically. So generally you will have the matchups, centre bounce stoppages, you get to the bloke that you think you can take out. But once again, when we need to come off our direct opponent to help and support, we need to do that. And if you're going to do that, then you need someone else shifting to support that matchup that we went into the game going with. So I think if you looked at our defensive structures and over the last, especially the last 6 to 8 weeks, they've worked quite well. But they've only worked well because there's been a massive amount of pressure on the ball. And once again, I've said this before, but I think Rolly O'Brien's year's been fantastic, and our mids pressure as well, and their star factor. I mean, Dawson was an absolute star last week to do what he did, but we've got blokes in there that play their role, and give nothing to the opposition. And if we look at just move a little bit from their forwards to their midfield, we've looked at Warple, and we think Nash will probably go to Dawson, but we do definitely think that if we can just quietly influence Newcombe's game tonight, that's a fair cog out of their midfield experience and certainly quality tonight.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
Warple out's a big out. John Newcombe, if you can do that. Hey, what are the conditions? Apparently it's going to be very cold. Can you count the long-sleeve jumpers in the rooms for me, please, Scotty?
I was very nervous about that, Scotty.
Yeah, can't be more than 3. You know that. You made the rule.
Yeah, hopefully we can change it. But no, it's the conditions have been fantastic during the day, but what it does do, I mean, it's dark here at nearly 5 o'clock now. It gets dark quite quickly, and there's a really heavy dew. We went to the ground last night. So it's going to be hard to take that ball under pressure at ground level. And I reckon you don't want to be on the bench for too long either. That sub, I think we've got to rug him up as much as possible, make sure he's warm, ready to go, because if you're running around, it's okay, but I'd certainly sooner be playing than being a bench coach sitting there on the bench and not moving.
Yeah, well, the fact that Murph was named on the field means he can't be the sub. B. Smith's done it very, very well. I guess you'll just leave it as is?
No, that's not true. You can actually put players anywhere and you can finalise it an hour before the game.
Oh, can you?
So that used to be the old rule, but now that's, Geelong know the system and play it really well. So we can have a player starting, he could be sub. You can have a player from the... you can even make a change, obviously, with the late emergencies. He can come right over the top to come into the team and not be the sub.
And if you're Collingwood, you can bring him from another league, can't you?
So that lister that had a crack at me, Rowey, he's in the team because he was named in the team. Well, there you go. So Murph could be the sub.
Yeah, no, it's changed. Yeah, the rules have changed over the last, I think, 2 to 3 years.
No, well done. Hey, have a ripper, Scotty. It is a massive game to beat a quality side, and there's certainly that away at Lonnie. The last 2 games there, we've won by 3 and lost by 3. Let's hope it's the win by 3. Hope it's a great game, and I hope we give our best, and we'll cop whatever's coming. And then when the siren goes and we're 10-4 and there's a bye, well, look out, because there'll be some excitement back here. Hey, before you go, I hear there's a contingency that are heading off to Barnbougle, King Island, for a hit of golf. Did you get an invite?
No, you don't want me going there, mate. I'll spend more time looking for the ball rather than actually playing. But the last thing you want to do is play on that course, though, when it's windy. And I think there's a bit of wind coming up the next few days. So
you're a smart man. Get the rod out. Well done, Burnsy.
Can't beat experience.
No, you can't.
Simple as that.
Yeah, well done. Have a good one, Scotty Burns,
our
guest. I am so looking forward to this game. I've got real high expectations.
Yeah, well, I know they were talking about Hawthorn bouncing back last week and the like, but you're right, Warple hurts them a bit in that midfield. That means that Newcombe's probably the extractor, and if you can quell that to a degree, you go a long way to winning the midfield.
Oh, God.
Stephen Rowe, Scott Campriale and Tom Wren is must-listen radio from 7 o'clock tonight. It is 4:30. It is a Friday, Footy Friday, all thanks to Rusden. Very shortly, we'll have the Port Adelaide team. It's confirmed Manny Liddy will play in the AFL. He will make his debut. We'll get the rest of the team next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. Australia's calling for calm after Israel launched airstrikes on dozens of targets in Iran. An Air India flight has returned to Thailand after a bomb threat after a deadly crash involving another plane in India. We're being urged to be wary when using heaters inside this winter after a spate of fires. And Geelong has downplayed last week's meeting between Bailey Smith and AFL boss Andrew Dillon, describing it as a low-key catch-up. Now I'm checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon, got a crash look out for Burton at the moment. 2 cars involved in this one. Burton Road near Settlers Park. Another smash at Mansfield Park. 2 cars again with this one. Hanson Road near Green Junction Road. It's getting cleared up as we speak. And a burst watermain getting fixed as we speak too at Ross Trevor. Glen Stewart Road near Moles Road, speed to 25. Cameras, David Whitten Drive, Noarlunga Centre and the Eastern Parade at Gilman today. Make tough jobs more effortless in the GWM Cannon Alpha plug-in hybrid with 3.5 tonne towing, true 4x4 and up to 115 kilometres of pure electric range. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast clear tonight and showers and 15 tomorrow. At the moment, 15. More news at 5 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Like Father Christmas and the Easter Bunny, when Paul Flynn's in the studio, it means there's gifts in the offing, and today it's a big one.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery, and this morning we've got, $1 million cash to give away.
One lucky winner is going to have $1 million in their bank account.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Jan's on the line. Good morning to you, Jan.
5AA Breakfast.
You've just won $1 million. Yeah, you're a millionaire. You are a millionaire.
I can't believe it.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Heading to the footy at Adelaide Oval? Focus on the fun, not looking for a car park. Don't stress, take the Footy Express. You can catch any Adelaide Metro bus, train or tram free with your game day ticket. Head online and search Footy Express to find out more.
A message from the Government of South Australia.
Steinborner Automotive in Gawler, Barossa and Clare has always been well worth a trip, especially with their end of financial year sale on over 500 new, used and demo cars, including a great range of new and demo Jack Utes at heavily reduced prices. Plus, they're offering an additional $1,500 trade-in bonus on all trade-ins. Head to Jack in Gawler or view the whole range at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
Be a part of a powerful afternoon at the Australian of the Year luncheon on Friday, June 20, next Friday, at the Adelaide Convention Centre.
It's going to be a special day. We're going to celebrate Neil Danaher, AO, of course, the 2025 Australian of the Year. And through Fight MND, good old Neil Danaher has helped invest nearly $19 million into research, backed 15 clinical trials and supported more than 600 Australians in life-changing studies.
It's amazing, truly amazing. We know he coached the Melbourne Demons. He played for Essendon, where he learnt to harness that power of teamwork to take this fight against what he calls the beast, MND.
Correct. Don't miss this inspiring chance to meet and connect with an Aussie legend who's making a real difference.
Yep, it is. It's going to be a great afternoon of incredible stories, impactful conversations, and a celebration of an extraordinary achievement.
Look, seats are limited, so book now at australiadaysa.com.au.
Don't you just hate it when your joint pain slows you down? For the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation, try Arbor Vitae. Like Glenn.
Prior to using Arbor Vitae Joint Health, the pain level in both knees, both hips, my lower back, upper chest and fingers was in the high 8s and 9s out of 10. Now, by taking approximately 30 ml of Arbor Vitae Joint Health each morning, my level of pain would be no higher than 2 out of 10. What a difference! My life has completely changed for the better.
Wow, that's wonderful.
I'm not one who normally recommends natural health supplements. However, Arbor Vitae Joint Health is a wonder that's given me, at 78 years old, a completely new lease of life.
Just like Glenn, Arbor Vitae could have a positive effect on your life too. Arbor Vitae is available now at all major chemists and health food stores. Arbor Vitae, it's wellness backed by science. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 5. It's Footy Friday, all thanks to Rusden Wines. Very soon we'll cross to the UK. Gideon Haigh from Cricket et al. Will join us as we near day 3 of the World Test Championship, and Jason Gillespie, former Australian fast bowler, to join us and talk through it as well. But Port Adelaide's team for Melbourne on Sunday has dropped 3 changes.
Correct. So Manny Liddy in, which we thought
on debut,
would happen. Jordan Sweet does come in. So we did say in the opener about that grab from Josh Carr.
We did.
From that, we thought, yep, 2 ruckmen are playing. And Horn Francis returns, which is fair enough there. Now, Finlayson was omitted, Moraes omitted, and Travis Boak managed. So that's an interesting one for mine, because his second half, he actually found a fair bit of the football. So I don't know what that means, or
managed at home seems strange.
Managed at home seems strange to me.
That happened earlier in the year. Managed at home as well.
Yeah, I've managed it in Canberra. Oh, I'll certainly get that one. So I definitely get that. But look, that's all the best to Manny Liddy. Well done on his journey. It's been one of a different path.
Good on him.
He went through Stir into Centrals and played some great football at the Dogs, and then has been picked up mid-season draft. And I'm glad in a way that it's not sometimes you get picked up and you don't get a game, and that club probably thinks, oh, we could have done with him, like at least he's got an opportunity at AFL level. So
don't make him sub.
Really, don't make him sub. That always makes me
sub.
Makes me mad.
Now, with Gawn as good as he is, I'm glad they went with the 2 ruckmen, and they can rotate forward, and it means you've said it, May then has to pick up.
We've got to get May off of Georgiades.
You do.
You saw it last week, Sam Taylor. It's not fair. Get that big rooster down there. They have to go to them.
Yep.
That's the key defender has to go to them.
And just dummy lead all
and Jack
day.
Viney comes in for Melbourne, so that's a great in for them.
It is. He's a great player. Hey, a lot of texts coming through. We want to give away that Rusden Black Gut Shiraz. I do like this one. Rowey, it's Friday the 13th.
Oh.
And umpire 22 is doing your game.
Oh. Hey.
He went, good luck.
What's he
Good luck. What?
Well, it's like warning clouds, that is.
Well,
gee whiz, Friday the 13th.
I'm not into the Friday the 13th stuff.
You're not?
Black cats.
Did you like the movies? I always love them.
Friday the 13th is not even a thing, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Chris. Do you believe in Black Friday?
Jason.
Not the sales.
Friday the 13th, Jason. Haven't you watched it either? Oh, come on. They were great movies in the 80s.
Were they? Chris.
You going to let me talk, boys, or what?
Well, Timmy was talking all over you.
Welcome, Chris.
Sorry, Timmy.
Happy Friday, mate.
No, all good, Timmy. Hey, Rowey, take your point and comments about Murphy, and I don't want to pot him because, I don't know him, and I know AFL football's damn hard to play, but totally agree with what you've said. I mean, surely there's better options, and I didn't hear Burns. I heard a bit of Burns before, and I assume it was just blah, 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 but Adam Kelly yesterday said Murphy's a great example. He's reliable, he plays his role, and he's an influential leader. Well, I would have actually preferred him to talk about talent rather than all of those attributes because we need talent in our team, and I just don't see how he gets selected, to be brutally honest. I think there's probably half a dozen players in the twos that should be selected ahead of Lockie Murphy.
Yeah, well, Schomburg's injured. He would have been a walk-up. Zach Taylor's the one. He'd just gone out. Classy ball in hand, overlooked. By the sounds of Burns, it looks like Murphy will be the sub and someone they can rely on. It's going to be a bit slippery. Nixie will always go for that experience, and I'm not always sold on that. The positives of Murphy, there are positives, Chris. They don't outweigh the negatives for me, and the negatives I wouldn't have picked him. And I know that's harsh, great kid, all of that. He's had his time. There would have been a heap more people that should have been put in there. And then the other thing I said, Chris, is please tell me Luke Pedlar's going to get the Peatling midfield minutes. They're
going to use Rochelle and Rankin by the sound of it. Chris, you happy with that, though, to get more midfield into Rochelle?
Yes, but again, it's blah, blah, blah from the coaches. They're always trying to justify picking the good blokes. And, this team is building. We've got so much talent in the SANFL, and I would have preferred to have seen, a Taylor in or even a Dowling. I mean, Will Gooding said on breakfast, I think last week before we played Brisbane, he said he can't see a side that has Smith and Laird in it. And, I guess to their credit, they played pretty well last week against Brisbane, but we've got Smith, Laird and Lockie Murphy Smith and Laird are nearing the end of their careers. Lockie Murphy's been and gone and had his time. I just think it's time to put through some of the juniors.
I think that reflects a lot of our text line. Thanks for your call, Chris. Hello, Ange.
G'day, boys. How are you?
Hey, Ange. Happy Friday.
That's it, mate. I looked into my Ange Nostradamopoulos's Friday the 13th poll, and I noticed that the Crows are going to win by 13 points.
Ooh.
Number 13 for the Crows is going to kick the sealer. With 13 seconds to go in the last quarter.
Wow.
God, if that is true, Nostropoulos, I will give you a bottle of Rusden Black Gut Shiraz.
Oh, there you go. Tempting.
Well done.
There you go, boys.
Very well done, Ange. I love the 13th references.
Yes, I do. And there's also a 3 in it. The last 2 times we played it, Lonnie,
3
lost
points.
by 3 and won by 3.
And I'll say it'll be 3 degrees when it happens.
Phil Thorpe's kicked 5 at Lonnie. I'd like him to kick 3, Fogarty 3 and Walker 3. If that's the case, we win by 3.
Good things come in threes.
They do.
Hello.
Gee,
hello.
So we got rid of those dark clouds. They're gone now.
Hopefully.
They're happy.
Well, see, there's a lot of Crows friends like mine that are just busting to get their finals tickets. Locked and loaded. ask for holidays, all that sort of stuff, Timmy.
The form in the HR in June.
Hey,
Just
10
getting
and 4,
planned early.
if they go into that by 10 and 4, you cannot possibly miss finals. Why are you looking at me like that?
You've done
You
it
know what
before.
that is? That's one of
Possibly.
these.
He's
That's
done
one
it.
of
But
those.
everyone knows the way they're playing, something horrific would have to go wrong.
Yeah.
And an
There is a little
Indian
bit of that.
See, you're
plane or
tempting-
something, it would have to be something horrific.
You know the unique homestyle food text explodes when you do these
No, they
things.
don't.
They
They
do.
don't
They
care
go,
what I say.
Timmy, stop him. Stop
Okay.
him. He's
The
going to
three
curse
gods.
us. He's gonna, exactly.
Well, let
yeah.
me tell you
Oh.
that I'll be calling the game with Campo, and I've got the carte blanche from him, tick, also from Rolly O'Brien, tick, Scotty Burns, tick, and all the key people that if they win when that siren goes, there is a production piece like no production piece of lids and all sorts exploding, including my good self.
I like this unique home.
Will the
unique
footy gods
homestyle
get me
foods
for that?
text?
Hopefully not.
Probably.
Okay.
It says, boys, Murphy,
Probably.
Murphy tries really hard.
Yeah, he does.
And he's had his time. There's no upside in his selection. Surely there are 4 or 5 guys ahead of him that can
Correct.
apply pressure and use the ball better. So
Correct.
that's pretty much where Chris was
Correct.
coming from earlier from Walkerville. And thanks for that call, Chris. But that's probably the what would you say? The underlying thing is just the kids. And I want to know where Sid Draper's at and the reluctance to play him.
Yeah, well,
We'll find out.
It is 17-5. We'll take a quick break. Keep your calls coming in for the Rusden Blackguards. Shortly, in studio, we're going to have a special guest, the incoming Wallabies coach, a huge event against the British and Irish Lions here at Adelaide Oval next month, who'll join us next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Da-da-da-da! Barnesy here from Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, and you're invited to my killer end of financial year party with 20% off all rubs, 15% off accessories, plus buy 1 Weber and get your first feed free. Buy 2 Webers and get 30% off your second one of equal or lesser value. Barbie's firing, beats cranking, drinks flowing. This cracking deal ends 5 p.m. Sunday, June 15. Get down to Jeps Cross or Mile End and prepare to get lit.
And sir, because you've been such a good customer, you get a bonus tin of cat food.
But I don't have a cat.
That's not a bonus. Head to Sip and Save and buy any participating 24-pack bottles of Cooper's beer and receive a bonus 750ml long neck of the same beer. Cooper's Original Pale Ale 24-pack bottles are $58.99 and Cooper's Mild Ale 3.5% 24-pack bottles are just $49.99. You can expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service. Prices may vary in country areas while stocks last.
Sip and Save. There's more in store.
Got some big news, Stephen. Some big news. Now, you know we've been talking about Barossa Volkswagen, and we've been talking about getting on the open road and, just fanging it out, feeling the breeze. There's no traffic lights or anything to worry about. Well, guess what? Guess what's happened?
Please tell.
The all-new Tiguan is
Brilliant.
It's in store. It's there.
Yes.
It's available.
Ready to go. That and the Amarok?
It's arrived.
Oh, how good.
The all-new Tiguan at Barossa Volkswagen. Get on the open
That
road,
is
mate.
great. So take it for a test drive, or the Amarok, any of their cars. At Barossa Volkswagen, you have a country test drive. Take it as long as you can. Drop the clutch. Do a couple of snakies.
Yeah.
There's only 2 types of people in the world.
Manual
Barossa
drives and automatic.
No, there's 2 types of people. Those that put their foot on the brake and those that put it on the gas.
Oh, right.
Barossa Volkswagen like those that put it on the gas. They like you to fang it around those vines.
Within the speed limit.
Well, yeah, well, of course.
Obeying all the road
do
rules.
a test drive. Do a country test drive.
They are very responsible at Barossa.
They are.
Don't worry about that. Now, if one afternoon's not enough, this is where you take the Tiguan, because it's just arrived, the all-new, brand new Tiguan. Volkswagen Tiguan at Barossa Volkswagen. It's there. I don't want to just have it for an hour.
No.
I want to take it home.
You want to
show it off.
That's it.
Get in the driveway. Yeah, that fits perfectly.
That's it.
I'm on board.
Yep, I'm on board, and they're magnificent. So test drive the all-new Tiguan, test drive the Volkswagen Amarok, get to Barossa Volkswagen, and take your time. We do mean that, honestly. Straight from the city, straight up the freeway, straight into Tanunda, left-hand side. Woody stands out the front. If he knows you're coming,
Waves.
in here, Ticky's waiting for you.
Yeah, nice
So
bloke.
to the Amarok, great work. Barossa Volkswagen, they're brilliant. City service, country feels.
See movies how they should be seen. Hear movies how they should be heard. All on the big screen with Quake Sound at Wallace. And now you can see them for less and enjoy candy bar discounts and other special member offers and freebies. Simply become a My Wallace member today. It's free, it's easy and it's full of benefits. Go to wallace.com.au and click on Join My Wallace today. Wallace Mitcham, Mount Barker, Noongar and the Piccadilly. South Australia's home of big screen magic and entertainment.
Whatever your path, we're with you. Australian Super is committed to delivering the best super experience with personalised tools and interactive guides. Visit australiansuper.com/yourpath. Read the PDS and TMD at australiansuper.com.
9 out of 10 people who are blind or vision impaired don't need to be. Just $25 can help restore a person's sight. See Fred Hollow's vision live on.
What did he say? He says we can see quite well.
Please donate to the Fred Hollows Foundation today at hollows.org.
Every eye is an eye.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
13-5, Les Kiss, the incoming Wallabies coach, is joining us live in studio. You can call in 8223 0000. A Rusden Black Guts up for grabs on our Footy Friday. First, let's check your roads.
Afternoon, crash at Burton to look out for today. Burton Road near Settlers Park. Two-car collision at Mansfield Park to look out for too. Getting cleared away as we speak. Hanson Road near Green Junction Road. And Ross Trevor, Burst Watermain, Glen Stewart Road near Moles Road, speeds at 25. Busy at the moment. The parade at Norwood slow. Tapley's Hill Road, Glenelg North with the camera River Road at Port Nalunga. Dan Murphy's don't match prices. They beat them. And with Dan's deals, get Bundaberg Campfire Bourbon Barrel 700 mils, $49 for My Dan's members. Ends Sunday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Well, Rowey, this is very exciting news. Saturday, July 12. I tell you what, you're going to love this. The British Lions are coming to Adelaide Oval, and they're going to take on a combined Australian-New Zealand team. Unbelievable stuff. Our incoming Wallabies coach, Les Kiss, is going to be at the helm. G'day, Les. How are you?
G'day, guys. Nice to be here in Adelaide. What a great day it is. Just been at Adelaide Oval, actually. How good is it looking?
Oh, it is picturesque, isn't it? And
yeah. Well, I think there's about 80% of tickets sold now.
Already.
With a bit of promo we've done today, hopefully we can just kick that along. I think it's going to be a fantastic event.
And we've heard about a new strip that's coming out, a new jersey, but we haven't seen it yet. We haven't even posted it up. Is it that fresh?
Yes, it is. We've just had the first photos today with it, so that'll be out in the press today. They're built or designed on the previous time we've had this game, AUNZ, which was in 1980. 9. That's
26
right.
years ago.
Yeah, 26.
No,
did I do my math well?
No,
36.
37.
Who the hell wrote 26 there? Oh, Timmy.
Yeah.
Les.
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
89, yeah, 36
But
years.
how's that?
Yeah, I know. That was a big game, really exciting. I think we lost. No. Did we win that game? No, we lost by 4 points.
Scott down here, lost by 4 points.
That's right, we did. So we've got to turn that around, haven't we?
You do.
Yeah.
So what will the strip be? Australia, New Zealand, we have
great history
across the ditch, and they love to hate us. We love to hate them.
Green and gold, and there's a little bit of black stripe there just to bring the All Blacks into it.
Yeah, because God, they're a good team, those All Blacks, aren't they?
They are. So.
Can you promise me you'll beat them when you get the head coach on Roll July next year?
Well, I'm on the boat this year with Joe, with the team, to be able to do it. We're getting closer, and I think it's really good. The last 12 or 18 months, there's a real optimism in the game, and we've got a chance to do something special against them this year.
Yeah. Explain that. So Joe Schmidt's our Wallabies coach.
Yes.
You're with him, but you don't take over the helm till June, July 2026. Explain the logic behind that, because we've got a really famous contingency club called Port Adelaide that are doing a transition.
Exactly the same thing? Yes.
Yeah. So how's it going to work?
I think that's the main philosophy behind it is the transition. Rather than just bringing a coach, cut everything out, start from scratch again. Why not bring someone in who knows Joe well? I've coached 30, 40 tests with Joe when it was with Irish Rugby. We have very similar systems. We have our points of difference, obviously. But we just wanted to try and get a transition and of continuity. Yeah. Not only good for the game, but for the players, for the commercial partnerships, all the stakeholders involved. We just stay on track and we go into a home World Cup. And it's bloody important that we don't just cut everything out and start again. We want to keep that going along.
Well, Eddie did that last time, and we stunk it up, and we're still reeling from that. Les, can I say that? And then he shot off to Japan.
Yep, well, we're here now. We're here now in the present.
Mate, don't talk about the war.
Mate, didn't they warn you about that?
Oh, mate. You didn't know about my motto when I played. When in doubt, run out.
That's a good one.
Now, I do like that.
Fight or flight, yeah.
But Les, you're right. I mean, we went up to St. Tree Cove a few years ago to the training camp with Dave Rennie at the time and the like, and then, then he got removed, and then in goes Eddie, and then he gets out after, a very short period of time. So that doesn't make for a stable environment for the national team, does it? And when we're trying to get back on our feet as a rugby nation.
You're absolutely right. And that was front and centre, making sure it worked. And that gives me a chance to stay with my contract with the Reds up to the end of my contract as well, into next year's Super Rugby Pacific as well.
Great. Yeah. How's selection work? So I just saw a bit of a photo of the strip then. It's very impressive. But the New Zealanders, as Rowey said, very good side as well. But how do you pick? Is it a 50-50? Is it the best team you can possibly put out there?
There'll be some talented players. Don't worry about that. The process has already started, particularly with some of the Kiwi boys. Just trying to put those things together. We've got someone internally making sure he does all those types of negotiations. And it'll be probably some late calls coming in into that game because the Force play the Lions, the Reds, we play the Lions. There'll be a Fiji game, there'll be a Brumbies game. We're the last one before the big test. So we may get some late calls from some Wallabies that want more game time.
Okay.
So we're going to have some good players in that team for sure. But the selection, we'll probably start putting names out over the next 2 weeks or so just to build that up a bit. But we'll get more clarity as we get closer to the game.
State of origin in the NRL, I know you played that. They all want to play. It is state versus state, mate versus mate. In the AFL, it died. It just died because the clubs and the players didn't want to contribute. Is this going to be one where they all want to play?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah,
because you would have thought so. I mean, they're massive, the English. Lions,
well, that's one of the games that you want to play in some form. For me, I'm going to coach in it. That's great in its own right. But we're going to have some players that are so competitive. I don't think they're going to hold back. And if you can get one over them, that's something you'll tell your grandkids. That type of thing.
Right.
So over a whiskey in front of the fireplace.
Haven't the Irish improved?
Yeah, they're unbelievable. I've worked in the Irish system for about.
He was a part of that improvement.
That was a leading question, Les.
How did you do it, Les?
All due credit to yourself. But I love watching them play.
Yeah, it took some time, and Joe was there and we worked together on that whole process. And Andy Farrell's now taken on. He's now the coach of the Irish and British Lions. So there's been a lot of work done in it, and they're a really good team. And they make up, I think, about 60% of that team. So it's going to be a tough gig. But don't underestimate an Aussie. I always say,
Les, I must admit, having a side that combines, Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales.
Wales, that's it. Yeah.
Gee, they've had some trouble over the years between each other, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. You think
you could
put a team together of those. You should. What you got to try and do is get into the media there and then split them somehow. Make them divide and conquer themselves.
My hands up.
You're in. Okay.
I'll do that.
But I reckon it's an interesting one because for us, the only thing about us, we've been to war together. We got Anzac history and the like, but. Look, there is one incident, the underarm in 1981, all right? Don't bring that up in our change rooms, for God's sake.
We'll get the Chappells to be guest speaker. That'll work.
Yeah. How are you going to go about trying to plan against a British Lions side that, like you said, will fire up? But you hear at Adelaide Oval, like you said, you've got some lead-up games there that you can watch. But how are you going to plan for it?
Well, when you pull a team together and you've got three training sessions over 7 days, I don't think you want to convolute it and make it complex. I think you just tap into what they're good at. Everyone knows how to play the game. Rugby, just put some simple things in place and go out there and have a go, because too much detail, too much analysis, you'll freeze them. You want them to go hard. We want to hurt them. We want to take a few out. We want to win the match to make it easy for the Wallabies.
Les, your career in coaching's been quite distinguished in 20 years. I love the variance of it. So you've been in Australia, you've done Ireland, England, South Africa, with the Springboks and that. Is this Wallabies gig your dream gig? Is this what you've been working up to?
It was, to tell you the truth, I was 16 years in the Northern Hemisphere. I came back 2 years ago. I did not expect to come back to Australia to coach. So it's been from left field, really. But that's what life is. It throws curly ones all the time, and just got to be ready to step into the breach, I guess. I welcome it. It's great. I'm really pleased with how Australian rugby is moving forward with Phil and Peter Horn and Dan Herbert just taking us in a direction, and the governance seems to be really in control. And I think there's some really good things happening. And if I can play my part to help improve it, just like Joe's doing at the moment, then that's making me happy, that's for sure. It's going to be a massive World Cup, that's for sure. A home World Cup is massive. There's a lot of responsibility in that, so and a lot of expectation around it. But we've got some good people there, and I'm looking forward to working on that campaign.
Wallabies are one of those rare national teams that can drag us along. We're the southern states, so union's not big. Rugby we don't like because we're AFL. But there's something about the Wallabies when they're flying and when they're in a World Cup. This nation gets behind them, and there's some bloody good history dating back.
We've always had good crowds here too.
And you watch, we'll get 50-odd thousand here.
Yeah, I got no doubt. I got no doubt it's going to be a massive, massive crowd right throughout Australia. You're right. It's like the Australian cricket team. When it gets going, everyone gets behind it. This is the Wallabies. When they're humming,
they're one of our national teams.
It is. It is one of the national teams. So. Let's start the ball rolling, like a big snowball. Let's get it rolling, just create a bit more momentum.
Have we got the talent coming through?
Yeah, there's some good talent. One of the big things, I think, for Australian rugby at the moment, we're not a super old team, but we've got enough good people in the experience spaces. Yeah. And there's a band of players, between 24 and 29 that are, right at that peak, and we just got to make the most of that in the next 2 to 3 years. And below that, the pathway systems are getting stronger and stronger. I know, at the Reds, there's some really good young men coming through. The Brumbies are just showing what they're going with some of their young guys. Young Declan Meredith, for example, coming into 10 when Noah was out, and the Waratahs, they're just going to go strength to strength next year.
Okay, I reckon I would have been a good fly half.
Yeah,
or a 7/8, so 115. What's that?
How many years ago?
Yeah. Did you see that? Hey! I've ran 5 New York marathons, mate.
And now he's a front rower.
I love that.
Sorry, mate.
I'm just going to run out the race. What you saying?
That's it. Hey, Les, thank you very much for coming in. Really appreciate it. It is the Australia-New Zealand combined side taking on the British and Irish Lions here at Adelaide Oval, July 12th, 7:15. Get on to Ticketek now.
Buy your tickets.
They're selling fast. They really are. It's going to be a sensational game, and we will get right behind it as well right here, Les. Hopefully we have another chat before then.
Hopefully we do, and get behind it because it's going to be a great event for Adelaide. And let's go and win the game, eh?
Beautiful stuff. Les Kiss, the incoming Wallabies coach looking after Australia and New Zealand, the British and Irish Lions.
A super exciting time ahead. It is 1 minute to 5. We'll cross to the UK very shortly, chat to Gideon Haigh, and we'll also speak to fast bowler Jason Gillespie, a friend of the show, after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
At IGA, great value is easy to find, like Omo Laundry Liquid 2 litre, powder 2 kilo or capsules 28-pack selected varieties, $14 each, half price. IGA, you can't beat local. Offer ends June 17. Participating stores only. Excludes IGA, local grocer and Foodland.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Phantom Outdoor Blinds.
What are you doing?
Oh, just writing a jingle for Phantom Screens.
Okay, well, tell them they're up to 12 metres wide, yeah?
Really big.
Tell them they block the wind and the rain.
Blocks the wind.
And blocks sun and insects.
Really shady and gross things can't get in.
Tell them there's no posts.
Uninterrupted views.
Phantom Outdoor Blinds. Blocks out most things, just not your annoying mates. phantomscreens.com.au.
You're smart, you're busy, and your time matters. So when that first sign of illness appears, you need answers, not appointments. That's when you reach for Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test that puts you in control. Fast, reliable results for COVID-19, flu A, flu B, and RSV in just minutes. Make the smart choice for your health and family. Insist on the brand that healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. Cell Life, CELLIFE.
Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance. Buy now with no deposit, 16 months interest-free on a participating Latitude credit card and get a bonus gift card up to $1,000. huge savings in store and online. Shop with no deposit, 60 months interest free from Latitude Financial Services and get a bonus $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend. Monthly credit card fee currently $10.95 applies. New customers must be approved. Minimum finance $1,000. Equal monthly payment plan, T's and C's, charges and exclusions. Don't miss Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance on now.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Clear tonight and showers tomorrow, a high of 15. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig. The commander of Iran's Revolutionary Guard is among those who've been killed in major Israeli strikes. The IDF has hit nuclear and military facilities. Israel expects Iran to retaliate imminently. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Tehran was getting close to building an atomic bomb and that could not be allowed.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival.
Meantime, Australians are being urged not to travel to Israel. Foreign Affairs has upgraded its travel warnings for the region. Anyone living in Iran is also being told to shelter. A father of 2 who became unresponsive during a police arrest in Royston Park last month has now died in hospital. 42-year-old Gaurav Kundi had been in the RAH on life support since the incident. Police were trying to arrest him after an altercation with his partner on Paynham Road. Police Commissioner Grant Stevens says 3 different inquiries are underway.
The senior investigating officer conducting the Commissioner's inquiry has reviewed all of the body-worn video, and we can say definitively that at no time during the incident did any police officer place a knee on Mr Kundi's neck, and I can confirm that his head was not forced into the police vehicle, nor was his head forced into the ground during the incident.
Possible power issues being investigated as the cause of a plane crash in India which has killed hundreds of people. More from Edward Godfrey.
Air India Flight 171 departed Ahmedabad Airport in India's west at 1:38 p.m. local time, bound for London, but got into trouble within seconds of takeoff. Footage shows the Boeing 787 Dreamliner descending barely after reaching the end of the tarmac, only reaching an altitude of 625 feet before coming down. It crashed into a residential area, a doctor's college in the neighbouring suburb. Authorities say 241 of the 242 people on board were killed, as well as dozens on the ground. Passengers included 169 Indian nationals, 53 Britons, 7 from Portugal and 1 Canadian. Just one survivor, a British man named Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, miraculously walked away from the burning wreckage, suffering impact injuries but otherwise okay. And speaking to local media, he told them he heard a loud bang shortly after takeoff. Investigations are underway into what went wrong as messages of condolences pour in. At Gatwick Airport, a centre was set up for any individuals or families who might have turned up expecting to welcome their loved ones.
While an Air India flight has been forced to make an emergency landing in Thailand after receiving a bomb threat. The flight from Phuket to New Delhi was carrying 156 passengers when the threat was made. All were escorted off safely. The National Guard deployment in LA can continue after an appeal was lodged to a court ruling the US president has overreached. Downtown LA is under its 3rd night of curfew. This protester says leaders are going down the wrong path.
There's a lot of talk about deportation and immigration and everything like that. They never talk about integration. These people are already here. They're part of our communities. They're part of our labor force. They're part of our economy.
An increase in heater-related fires in SA has sparked a warning from firefighters. The MFS has attended 11 incidents across the state already this year, 9 of them in May. MFS Chief Officer Jeff Swan says the fire can quickly take hold.
Make sure you keep those combustibles 2 metres away from all heaters. Make sure you follow the manufacturer's recommendations and clean flues and chimneys at least annually. And also to make sure you've got working smoke alarms for that early notification and have a home evacuation plan.
Now Now turning to 5AA sport, and Hawthorn take on Adelaide in chilly conditions in Launceston tonight. Crows assistant coach Scott Burns says it'll be a challenge.
It's a really heavy dew, so it's going to be hard to take that ball under pressure at ground level. You don't want to be on the bench for too long either. That sub, I think we've got to rug him up as much as possible.
While Port have trimmed their squad to play Melbourne on Sunday, new recruit Manny Liddy will make his debut. Jordan Sweet and Jason Horne-Francis are in. Jeremy Finlayson and Christian Moraes are out, and Travis Spoke is being managed. Geelong have confirmed Bailey Smith will play against Essendon at the MCG tomorrow after recovering from a hamstring injury. The Brownlow medal contender was a late withdrawal ahead of last week's game against the Suns, but Cats coach Chris Scott says he's ready to play.
As we forecast last week, when he was able to put in a good training session sort of in and around the game, last week we were confident he'd play, and he's ticked every box this week, so he's good.
Pat Cummins has confirmed his place among the greats of Australian fast bowling, taking 6 for 28 in the World Test Championship final against South Africa at Lords to reach 300 Test wickets. The skipper delighted to become just the 8th Aussie to reach the milestone.
I think as a fast bowler as well, 300s, something I always kind of thought about as, pretty good sign of kind of durability and, resilience and, longevity. So, I feel pretty proud to join that group.
The Aussies will resume tonight at 8 for 144, an overall lead of 212. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Burton, a crash, Burton Road near Settlers Park, a two-car collision at Mansfield Park, Hanson Road near Green Junction Road, and Ross Trevor, Burstwater Lane, Glen Stewart Road near Moles Road, speeds at 25 k's. Cameras Fletcher Road, Birkenhead and Main South Road at Morford Vale. Online only at Supercheap Auto. Get 25% off everything when you buy any 2 items or more. Sale online now, everywhere tomorrow. Exclusions apply. Make it super. Supercheap Auto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Clear tonight and showers tomorrow, heading for 15. A shower or two on Sunday, 16, and then showers for Monday and Tuesday. At the moment, 13. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, fears of war. Israel strikes Iran's nuclear sites, waits for retaliation. What went wrong with the Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which was operating in Australia just days ago? And 3 investigations into the death of a South Australian father of 2 who became unresponsive during an arrest in the eastern suburbs. 9 News. Your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 now.
Steinborner Automotive in Gawler, Barossa and Clare has always been well worth a trip. Especially with their end of financial year sale on over 500 new, used and demo cars, including a great range of new and demo Ford Rangers at heavily reduced prices. Plus, they're offering an additional $1,500 trade-in bonus on all trade-ins. Head to Steinborner Ford in Clare or view the whole range at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth a trip.
Hi gardeners, Charlie Allbone here. The one thing there's no room for in my garden is weeds. So when they start to sprout, I reach for Rich Grow Beta Weed. Its naturally based formula works within hours of application, and it's glyphosate free. To see the Rich Grow effect of work on the bad things in your garden, grab some Beta Weed today and grow you good things. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Just call Ken Hall. We'll be there anytime at all. Just call Ken Hall.
Winter is coming, bringing blocked drains, cold showers, leaking roofs and a chilly home. Don't worry, just call Ken. We'll be there when you need us. Ken Hall will get your home ready for winter with heater servicing, gutter cleaning and roof inspections. Stay safe and warm this winter. Just call Ken. Working for you since 1983.
Just call Ken Hall.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
10 after 5, it's our Rusden's Footy Friday. Very soon, Terry McAuliffe will give us some tips for the weekend. We'll get back to your calls for that bottle of Rusden Black at Shiraz, 8223 0000. And we'll cross the UK shortly because it's a big night in the World Test Championship final, day 3. Here's Pat Cummins.
Ideally, probably a few more wickets in the shed, but I think the trend of the game is the runs are coming down. And it's still pretty difficult out there, so I think it's set up pretty well for a day 3 finish. You'd imagine tomorrow. I think we're going to have to bowl well still in the 4th innings.
Well, it is day 3. It's tonight. Starts at 7. Australia, South Africa at Lords, the World Test Championship. Joining us, an SA great, Jason Gillespie. Dizzy, welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me, Rowey and Timmy.
Lead by 218, 218, 2 wickets in hand. What's enough?
Oh, well, I mean, the trend of the game, I just heard Pat talk there in that little snippet that, batting is quite difficult. South Africa, if they're going to win this game, they're going to have to score the highest total of the match. So you'd say Australia are slightly favourites, just the way the surface has been playing, the way the 2 bowling attacks have bowled. They've been absolutely fantastic. So I'd say Australia probably just have their noses in front. However, one thing South Africa can hold their hat on is the fact that it'll be a day 3 pitch, and they would hope that it's going to settle down a little bit.
Ballers beating bat, there's no question about that. Alex Carey's 43 off 50. They were 43 golden runs, Diz.
Oh, they certainly were, and he looked really good, didn't he, Kez? I thought he looked really good in the first innings as well. But look, he's in superb form. We saw obviously the Sheffield Shield final. He played a wonderful knock there. And he's played some pretty important knocks. He played a really good knock in Sri Lanka as well. So, look, he's in fine form, that's for sure.
Hey, Dizzy, before the game even began, we were a bit perplexed about Green's selection at number 3. Yep. I think throughout history we've always acknowledged that number 3 is normally the best batsman in the country. And we all sort of felt like, well, gee, he's got an elevation from, 6 or 7 straight up to 3. On the back of some county form. It was a bit confusing for mine. We know it's been difficult pitch to bat on, but were you in that same boat, or did you feel like he deserved to go 3?
I suspect it's more that other players that they're happy with them in certain roles. Like I suspect Steve Smith, he's opened the batting and he's batted 3, but I think he's preferred spot is 4. I think the selectors and Andrew McDonald made it clear that Travis Head, although he opened in Sri Lanka, and that was a tactical decision to have him face the new ball with the pace bowls as opposed to starting against spin, so they like him in the middle order. And I just think that they feel that Cameron Green's in the best 6 batters in the country, and they had to they felt they had to find a spot for him, and number 3 seemed to fit. But I'm not sure. I mean, I think what's maybe confusing the issue a little bit is Cameron Green not bowling, but they still wanted him in the side, which squeezed out, obviously, Constance. So, it's an interesting one. Does he have the technique to be a long-term option at number 3? I'm not sure. I think in an ideal world, I think the selectors would prefer Cameron Green to be bowling some overs and probably batting in that number 6 spot.
Gee, there'd be some guys, around your era. I'm thinking of people like Jamie Siddons who would be thinking, oh, wish I was around now. You know what I mean? Like, they made thousands of runs, didn't they? And they were just unfortunate that they were in the era of, people like Ricky Ponting. So they'd probably be pulling their hair out going, poor old Jamie hasn't got any. But if he did, he would be frustrated.
You look at someone in the era I played, Martin Love. I mean, he played all his first-class career at the Gabba on green-seaming wickets and averaged over 50, batting at 3. And he only played 4 Test matches. So, you're right. The strength, I suppose, and depth of batting in that era was unbelievable for Australia.
Hey, one little moment, which I'd love you to just put to bed. Bettingham, the ball got trapped into his gear. Now, we had John text earlier on the Unique Home Style Food text. He said that once it's lodged in the batsman's equipment, it is a dead ball. Nothing more said. Is that the rule?
That is the law. That once it is lodged in the batsman's protective equipment, it is a dead ball. I think the debate around that one, Timmy, has been, was the ball actually lodged in the protective equipment? And that, I think a lot of people have been debating that, whether it had lodged or not. I think that the we saw the umpires get together and have a bit of a conversation, decided that, yes, it had lodged. Would have been an interesting one if they sent it upstairs to Richard Kettleborough, the third umpire. It would have been very interesting, I think.
Well, I thought the Aussies were a bit gun-shy. Certainly Kez was. Now, Kez could have dived and grabbed it while it was in his thing and appealed. But on the back of what's happened before with old Suki Lala head, I don't think he wanted to.
I think, Rowey, I mean, for me, it was quite telling that Kez felt the ball was alive because he was going to look to try and take a catch. So that said to me that he certainly didn't think that it had lodged in the protective equipment in the pad. So yeah, really interesting one.
He didn't want a nasty text from Bairstow. Diz, love your chats. Thanks for that.
Jason Dizzy Gillespie,
he's a legend.
Absolute legend. But great to get that insight too. And when he brought up Martin Love, there's another guy that I was thinking, there's so many around that era that made a lot of runs, didn't they? So we're going to go right to Lords. I think he's about to walk into the ground. He's one of the great reporters on cricket. He's on Cricket at Towel, the podcast with Peter Laylaw. Gideon Haigh, welcome.
Good morning. Yes, I'm walking towards the ground right now with Dizzy's great rival, Michael Atherton.
Fantastic. Beautiful stuff. Well, I'm going to ask Gideon, is this the... And he can chip in if he wants, Athers. Is this the correct venue and correct timing for a World Test Championship between these two countries?
Well, the trouble is, when else are you going to fit it in? There are so few holes in the calendar anymore. I think we're lucky to have this one. Next week there's a Test match between England and India. We've just come out of an IPL. Once these things start to accumulate, it's very difficult to find empty space. I mean, in some respects, the holding a final as distinct from a series in Test cricket, is it another anomaly? We play everything over at least 2 Test matches. Is it a little bit unfair that one team can be caught with a bad toss or a juicy wicket and all their hard work over 2 years goes out the window? But we're thankful for the crumbs of consolation that we have in Test cricket. And actually, look, this has been a very good game over 2 days of a potential 6. We could probably have fitted in 3 Test matches in the time they're going to play this one.
You're not wrong there. The cricket, the world, I mean, we're going Duke's ball. Both countries use a kookaburra. Was there any thought about that?
Yeah, look, it's the local ball. I think it's enhanced the competition. I think if we play in English conditions, you do expect the ball to move a little bit more than in other countries. I think you have to be resigned to the fact that the weather conditions can change in 5 minutes. You can go from near darkness to beautiful sunshine. I think both teams kind of understand that. They have looked a little bit underdone coming into this game. For some of the batters, it's a long time since they've picked a bat up. In Steve Smith's case, 3 months. I think there were a few nerves on the throughout. Both teams, there's a lot of prize money at stake in this game. No, I don't think prize money is a huge motivator, but of course, Australia wants to win another ICC crown. South Africa's still in search of its first. There's a lot of stakes. There's a lot of jeopardy. That's exactly what you want in Test cricket, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. It's not much of a battle between bat and ball, however. Gillen, South Africa, they're our bunnies still, aren't they? They just can't win anything, this mob. Fair dinkum.
Well, let's talk again this time tomorrow because, I know they've got to get the highest score in the game to win it, but they won't get a better day to bat on than this one.
Ooh. So weather will be suitable to drying out a bit?
Oh, I think so, yeah. It's a very dry pitch, very dry to begin with. Unfortunately, the match won't go long enough for the spinners to benefit from that. But, look, they will never have a better chance. And they've done all the hard work, and it be, I hate to say it would be fantastic for Test cricket if South Africa got over the line today.
How the hell could you get those words together and say that? You're speaking to patriotic Australians here.
Yeah. But we're all lovers of Test cricket.
That's
and
true.
the more competitive teams there are in the competition,
the better.
I think the better for the overall level, the overall standard. That the game's always fighting for relevance.
Yep.
We're always complaining, aren't we, that it's become a big three game, that only three teams have any chance of winning, that three teams hog all the limelight and all the money. If South Africa were able to take a chip off Australia today, I wouldn't begrudge it.
Had a couple of texts wanting to know what's a pint of beer cost at Lord's.
Oh, good point.
Oh, it's a good question. Well, of course, we're not allowed to drink beer during. We're serious people. We're hard at work. I tell you what, though, every time I buy a coffee here and see that I've paid $10,
wow.
I go, I just can't wait to get home, and the coffee's not very good either.
Okay. What's the crowd? Pro South Africa, the Proteas, pro us? What is it?
50-50.
I think there is look. Both crowds have been in evidence, and I think they've significantly enhanced the occasion. I think probably the South Africans have the edge.
Okay.
It's a good time of year to be over here. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to distinguish them because they're both green and gold, but they cheer at different times, and they've both had plenty to cheer on. There's just been so much activity when there's so much cut and thrust. You dare and take your eye off the game, and look, that's exactly what we wanted from this final.
Hey, have the members in the long room behaved themselves, that unruly bunch? Yeah. Have they been behaving themselves?
Look, they've been okay. Yeah, and look, the ground looks as pretty as a picture. It's, if you're going to hold a big game like this, I think an English ground with its, its intimacy and its sense of history, there's a lot to applaud. Jay Shah's been here, the chairman of ICC. Lots of photo opportunities. Check out his Instagram. It's a man who loves walking in slow motion. Maybe that's as fast as he actually walks. I don't know, but.
I love that. Hey, Gideon, thanks very much for picking up the phone, mate. I really appreciate it. We're envious of you walking into Lord's to see the World Test Championship. Hopefully one day we can join you. Thanks very much, buddy.
Okay, thanks a lot. Cheers.
Gideon Haigh, our guest, and, of course, Cricket et al. Podcast with Peter Laylor. They're the best at covering the game.
They're very good.
Outstanding. It is time for the traffic. It's 22 after 5. We'll get back to your calls after this. 8223 0000 for Rusden Blackguts.
Afternoon at McDonald Park. A 4-car collision on the Northern Expressway near the Curtis Road off-ramp causing a few headaches. Burton, another crash there to look out for. Burton Road near Settlers Park. And Ross Trevor, Burstwater Main, Glen Stewart Road near Moles Road, speeds at 25 k's. Busy South Road, Edwardstown, with a camera Main South Road at Hacken for the drive home tonight. Harbour Town has huge sales on during the Get Outlet sale this weekend. Shop offers like 40% off store-wide at Adidas. Head online for sale offers. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Our state can be proud of its unique businesses, big and small. Let's celebrate them with 5AA's Best of SA.
Since 1935, Rest Haven has supported senior South Australians. Rest Haven operates 12 residential aged care homes, 31 retirement villages, and offers in-home care and support to older people living throughout South Australia. With over 90 years' experience, you'll welcome the care Rest Haven brings.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Ray White Business Sales and Adelaide's 5AA.
When you're a kid, every day is an adventure. And healthy, curious kids are Biltong by Najobi. Deliciously air-dried SA-made beef strips. Najobi Biltong fills them up because it's high in protein and it fuels their day with long-lasting energy. And when we can make it pick up their dirty clothes, we'll let you know. It's perfect for lunch boxes, after-school snacks, or to take to sports practice. Fill them up and fuel their day with Najobi Biltong in supermarkets, service stations, or at najobi.com.au.
Hi, it's Wayne Phillips. If you're in the market for a new ute, SUV or van before the end of the financial year, you must come and see us at the award-winning Wayne Phillips Ford. We've got a huge range of Ford Rangers, Everest and Transit custom vans in stock and ready to go. Come in and see us for an unbeatable deal with savings so good, you'll have to see them for yourself. We won't be beaten on price. So for the best deal on a new Ford, drop in and see us now at Wayne Phillips Ford, Christie's Beach.
24 past 5, big game. Crows, don't miss it tonight. 10 past 7 it should be. Hey, if you need to move from A to B to C to D, the best move hiring is from Budget Car and Truck Rental.
And I'll tell you why. They are so helpful. They're amazing. They'll give you boxes, tape for storage, furniture covers to make sure everything gets there and arrives pristine. Budget's got you sorted.
Well, they have for moves, but they've got it sorted with everything. They've got the perfect cars, big, small, moving vans, trucks available, standard driver's license. There's utes, hybrids, trailers, 12 to 25 seat buses and much more at Budget.
That's right, and you can do that on a driver's licence. Once you've chosen a vehicle, grab Budget's blankets, the trolley, the boxes, the tape. Everything will go smooth.
That will. Job done, easy with Budget. It's a family-owned business with friendly staff that you can count on. Multiple locations across our state.
Yeah, you got something big to budget with a Budget rental truck. Call 1327 27.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. Lately I've had a lot of people asking about the federal battery rebate, what it is, how it works and whether they're eligible. At BJ Energy, we've done the homework. Our job is to help you make the most of the rebate while it's still around. So if you're thinking about solar or a home battery, or just have any questions about the federal battery rebate, it's easy to get in touch with us. No sales pitch, just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
There's one word that should be deleted forever. It transcends language, culture, geography, status, and it doesn't discriminate. That word is cancer, and until we can delete it, we're going to treat it. Lift Cancer Care is dedicated to offering additional cancer services to complement your existing treatment plan. We collaborate closely with your medical team to achieve the best outcomes for your diagnosis. So, if you or a loved one are ever struck with the C word, think of the L word first. liftcancercare.com.au.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre, the wearable sensor that monitors glucose levels straight to your phone. Trial it now for only $15 at freestylelibre.com.au. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
27 after 5 and our Rusden's Footy Friday. The countdown is on to Crows and Hawthorn to be live on 5AA from 6:30. Terry McAuliffe is coming up and we're taking your calls for a Blackgut Shiraz.
Rowey, you ask, I shall deliver.
Okay.
You said, how much is a pint of beer over there in London? London, yeah. And of course, Gideon couldn't ask. He's a professional. He won't do what perhaps we've done in the past. And like a flash, the Hotels Association president, David Bashir, of course, owner of the Strathmore and famous for the Stone Grill at Woodville as well, he's just text through like lightning, said, listening to you guys from London. Pint of beer, £7.50.
So double that.
So double that. It's got to be at least $15, $16. So depending on the dollar.
Well, Mike from Parafield Gardens texted in as well. Hi boys, you can get a pint and a toasty at Lord's for £11. So he's across it as well, Mike.
Yeah. That's around about. That'd be
about
right. Yeah. I wonder what the toasty's like. One of those old ones with a cellophane on them. They used to get in the bread.
Hello, Johnny.
How you going, fellas?
Good, John.
Bit cold? Yeah. Anyway, look, I want to just touch on a couple of points, the selection and Murray Davis. Selection integrity. It's completely dead at the AFC. To be quite frank, and I think one of your previous callers, Chris, touched on it, the justification and the waffle that we hear from Adam Kelly around justifying why a player has been picked in the squad and has literally nothing to do with talent or ability. Zero. So in other words, hey, you young guys, you come in, you can get as many touches as you like, you're not getting a crack because I'm obsessed with player A, B and C, and that's the well I'm going to continue to go down. It doesn't... And leads me to my next point. Murray Davis. I have no doubt in my mind that one of the sole reasons we are where we are on the premiership table right now is because of Murray Davis. Because quite frankly, when I have a look at the coach's record without Murray, it's abysmal. All of a sudden, Murray's come in. He's taken over game strategy, game plan, development, and he looks after the assistants. All of a sudden, we're pretty much a different team, other than some of the bloopers that happens on selection night, and we continue to go down the same path with players that have been there, done that, and don't really give us what we need. And we need to be looking to the future, not the past.
Yeah, John, the positives didn't outweigh the negatives for me. I'm a little bit with you, but just on it, you're giving a lot of credit to Murray Davis, and you should. He's added a real calmness and confidence to the group. And sometimes when you get a new bloke in there and you're an assistant coach or you're the senior coach, it gives you confidence to know that, yeah, you're on the right track. He's certainly given them that. But all those coaches have done a terrific job as a collective. It's not just one person is the reason they're there, John. So you're a bit harsh on the others. But, yeah, well, let's see tonight, hey? They're not going to lose tonight because they put Lockie Murphy in.
Yeah, I think you're going to win.
You know what I mean? Well, of course they will.
The quaddie's getting up.
Oh, God. Thanks, mate.
D-Day for the quad D.
D-Day Davey at Belair.
Actually, they could actually lose a game with Murphy because one of his faults is he can't kick a goal straight in front 40 metres out. He always misses.
Oh, God.
1 point a lot to make.
Okay.
He's a good tackler.
He's that.
Not a good kick, not a goal kicker unless it's snap, the odd snap very rarely from the boundary or something.
Yeah.
Pedler would play in the midfield. I agree with you, Rowey.
He's got to get midfield minutes.
He should be in the midfield, more in the midfield, because he's aggressive and he goes to the ball really hard, and especially in the conditions. Rankin, I'd put him more up forward. He's more dangerous up forward, kicking goals. And you don't become a great midfielder overnight. It takes time, so I'd spend him less time in the midfield and more down in attack.
Well, you're 3 from 3, Dave. Tell you what, he's on the podium for that. Rusden Blackguards. He gave his best.
Dave. Well done.
I can't disagree with any of that.
Well, we're going to get your full wrap of tonight's game as we get to the 5:30 headlines. We'll revisit a little bit of what Scotty Burns as well said with us on the show very shortly. Terry McAuliffe coming up, and more of your calls. If you want that Rusden Blackguards, get on the phone now, 8223 0000.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. Australians are being urged not to travel to Israel as the Middle East conflict threatens to spiral out of control. A man's life support has been turned off after he became unresponsive during an arrest at Royston Park last month. Investigators are still working to determine the cause of a fatal Air India plane crash as another is forced to make an emergency landing in Thailand. A new Port recruit, Manny Liddy, has been confirmed to make his AFL debut against Melbourne on Sunday. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Got some pretty big delays with a 4-car collision at McDonald Park at the moment. It's on the Northern Expressway near the Curtis Road off-ramp. Those delays are outbound at the moment. Ross Trevor, Burst Watermain, Glen Stewart Road near Moles Road getting fixed speeds at 25 and sluggish at Hillier. Anglevale Road near Stephen Heath Road for works. Busy South Road, Edwardstown with a camera at Victoria Road at Largs North. This end of financial year, drive away in the Audi Q3 35 TFSI S-Line edition for just $60,900. Ends June 30, T's and C's apply. See website for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast clear tonight and showers tomorrow, a high of 15. At the moment, 12. More news at 6 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Like Father Christmas and the Easter Bunny, when Paul Flynn's in the studio, it means there's gifts in the offing, and today it's a big one.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery, and this morning we've got, $1 million cash to give away.
One lucky winner is going to have $1 million in their bank account.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Jan's on the line. Good morning to you, Jan.
5AA Breakfast.
You've just won $1 million. Yeah, you're a millionaire. You are a millionaire.
I can't believe it.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Some things need an emergency department, but if you're umming and ahhing on what to do, it might be more of an emergency. If you're unwell and unsure what to do, call Health Direct on 1800 022 222 and a registered nurse will help you find the best care for you. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Hi, Pretty here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. With all the end of financial year deals we've got going, you really should be here too. All makes, models and colours are being cleared, no exceptions.
And there's a huge range of low-K demos, all ready for immediate delivery. Plus, you'll get free on-roads, free stamp duty, free 12-month rego, and $500 worth of accessories. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
Now, you can always expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service, more brilliance.
They're brilliant. Yep, you're right. Have a list of these Sip and Save more rewards prices.
Okay.
Cooper's Pale Ale, that's the green bottle.
Yep.
24 packs, $58.99, and the red one, the sparkling ale.
Oh,
when I get this down my gizzards,
you love it.
I love it. Those 24 packs are $63.99.
Now, purchase any participating Cooper's 24-pack bottles and receive a bonus Cooper's Long Neck.
Just keep giving, don't they?
King
Sip
Brown.
and Save. There's more in store while stocks last. Prices may vary in country areas due to freight. Drink responsibly.
Why are we here? What is the nature of reality? Do I really need all that data to listen to history podcasts?
Huzzah! Question everything.
Especially your telco plan. Get the data you need at low prices with Aldi Mobile.
Hi gardeners, Charlie Allbone here. I love chili and garlic, but the bugs and insects hate it. That's why we use it to create Rich Grow Beta Bug, the safer, naturally based insect spray for use on veggies, fruit trees and flowers. To see how the Rich Grow effect can stop these pesky invaders wreaking havoc in your garden, pick up some Beta Bug today and grow you good things. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes to 6. Very soon, Terry McAuliffe will join us, but we are building up to the Crows and Hawks. 5AA football from 6:30 tonight. You'll hear it at the call with Tom Wren, Stephen Rowe and Scotty Camporeale.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to it. Crows Hawthorn tonight. It'll be live on 5AA. Game starts at 7:10. You're right, it'll be terrific. I'm dubbing it the Quad D Day. The Quad D
I like
Day.
it.
It is D Day.
Love it.
It's a bit of a D Day. Win. I think they can play finals. Win, the lid is off, there's no question. And it'll give the group some real confidence. They'll go to 10-4 with the bye. They're number one for scores against. Now, that is a key stat. It's the first time in over 20 years that they've let through less than 73 points per game, which is an amazing stat. Their pressure rating's number one. Midfield intercepts is number one. They score from turnover. They can damage from stoppage. They can win it from the centre square. Now, every aspect of the game's in place. There's only a couple of boxes to tick. That is to sustain it, not have injuries, to win away and win against teams like Hawthorn. Tricky little customer, this one. They can sling the ball from the half-back flank. Matty Nix knows that. He had this to say about the Hawks' form.
Well, hopefully we continue our form. That doesn't give you a result, but we've been playing some good footy, and they found their footy again last week. And people have been talking about their form not being as strong, but they've played the best teams in the competition, and we know how tough that is. So they're in good nick. We're in good nick, so it should be a great contest. It'll be a really interesting one Friday night down there. We're expecting it to be quite slippery. Had a chat to the groundskeeper, and so we're looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, well done. Easy to counter a bit, I think. I think last week's game was very slippery. The game in Sydney was very slippery, so they've got two-siders for it. They're missing a couple of key players. This is Hawthorn. Crows are full strength, so there's really no excuses. If they can really counter that slingshot, that football they play from half-back, the smalls that come up onto the wing through the midfield, they outnumber, and then they get forward to centre and just bop the other way, handing over their forwards, and communication will be key. Nixie spoke about Hawks' record over there. Have a listen.
There aren't too many harder than this one when you're travelling to Tassie, and their record down there, they've got an incredible record. We actually really enjoy playing down in Lonnie. The boys love the ground. It's a beautiful ground. It's often windy. I'm not sure we're expecting too much wind, but as I mentioned before, it's one we enjoy playing at, but our opposition have a fantastic record there.
Ginniman's kicking goals and creating them. Watson's another. Moore, Hardwick, McDonald and Morrison. They're probably the key ones. And as I said, they rotate through the wings, the centre. They outnumber. They come up the stoppage late. They lose their opponent back the other way. But I'm more than confident they'll have a plan. And Michael Annie, Hinge, Laird, Smith. I think Smith will start the 22. Cummings and co, they're very disciplined. They can get up and down the ground, and that's going to be the key to it. And the key to it is also going to be tackling. Here's Nixie.
We've had the conversation, and there's such a fine line. You know, we ask our midfielders to tackle and tackle with aggression, not to hurt. I don't think there's ever an intent to hurt, but the split-second stuff, when we slow the vision down, it's easy to look at it and say, oh, that's not on, but it's tougher in the moment. So there's a respect there for our guys, you know, the challenge they have of, you know, you're going hard for a ball or hard in a tackle, where's the line drawn? Unfortunately, we no arguments this week. We'll take the week and he'll keep working on that line.
Talking about Peatling, tackle to hurt. God, that was the first thing your coach said. It's one of the only times you can hurt your opponent. So when can you hurt your opponent? On the scoreboard.
Yeah, there it is.
I had Macca ring me the other day, or actually today I think it was, and he said, when has the rule changed that if I'm tagging you, Timmy, and the ball's up in the air and all I'm doing is watching you and not the ball, and I'm grappling you, why isn't that a free kick against me? Now, in the old days, you'd say to me, grab me again, you'll get knocked out. Grab me again, you get knocked out. What did you do to me?
Or you get somebody else to take you
That's
out.
it. You ran me past somebody that dropped the shoulder into your head and down you went. Now, I reckon that's a key point, and that's what this mob do really, really well. We had Scotty Burns on. He's the forward coach. Talk about the conditions just after 4.
You know, wet ground. It's going to be a little bit slippery over here just from the dew, not the rain. And we really think Josh is ready to go to take his game to another level. Even though he's been brilliant in front of goal, he'll still get down there. They'll share that duties, midfield and forward. And, we need that. We want that pressure forward because this team, their run and gun off half-back is their weapon. So, and we've had probably Neil Bullen a little bit more wing time as well lately. So we certainly want, you know, Lockie and Keezy to really patrol that area. So the likes of Amon, Impey and Weddle can't get the game on their terms.
So that's it. So it looks and appears like Keezy will have another role. It looks like they've set Murphy for a role, although we might be sub, but we don't know. We'll get that probably at about 6:30. It
sounded like it was going to be sub.
Or it might be B. Smith, but it sounds like he might be sub. They got the game and the quality of players to nullify that. So let's hope they do. The other one, you mentioned it, Timmy, is Newcomb in the centre.
Yeah, he's a good player.
There's no Warple, so he'd be an easy one to attack.
I was just about to say that doesn't help Hawthorn's midfield. No,
it doesn't. I wanted Luke Pedler to step up into the Peatling minutes. He does about 60% of midfield time forward and then he's on.
They knocked you on the head with that one.
I think they did.
Oh, look, we're really happy with Peds the way he's going. Been a little bit interrupted with some soreness through his knees and that in the early season, and it was good having a chat to him the other day. He said this is the best he's felt for a long time. Yeah, there's an opportunity there. He's definitely played as a junior. He's a very good midfielder, and he's played a little bit of time in the past. But I think it's just, at this point in time, everything's going really well with him. Let's just get him settled in there.
Well, I disagree with that one as well. But anyway, this will be a game of momentum. Hawthorn can get momentum and fill their boots up. It's going to be how quick the Crows in-game, without worrying about a break, in-game can wrestle that back, can change modes, win the ball and lock it in their forward half. But then can they then score against Hawthorn, which I think they can, and quickly, and get that scoreboard ticking over? Oh, look, I reckon
I've only seen one game of yours where I thought, you're not in this.
Yeah.
That was Fremantle.
Yeah.
Just not in it from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, they've only lost 4 games and they've got the lowest losing margin of games as well. So they're in it. It's going to be a cracking game. Please tune in from 7:10. Campo's excited. I'm excited.
I know you are, and I know you're all up to the bye and you're all chips in and the like. Have you had a look at the run home at all?
Well, I'm told to be professional and not look too far ahead. I know I have a windscreen.
Yep.
I never use a rear view mirror. But appease me with our run home.
You run home, you've got 9 games, of course, which will finish up
and
your
season. And we'll be 10-4, yep.
You've only got 4 teams.
We'll just go through them and I'll go win or lose.
Well, there's only 4 teams that are currently in the top 8.
Okay.
So that gives you a bit of buoyancy.
Yep.
Richmond.
Win.
Okay. Melbourne home.
Win.
That was quick. Bulldogs away.
Could be a trouble one, that one. Lose.
Okay. Gold Coast home.
Win.
Port home.
Oh, please.
Loss.
He's got the pen.
Hawks home. Hawks home.
Yeah.
West Coast away.
Win.
100 points. Collingwood home.
Well, let's give that to Collingwood.
Okay. And North Melbourne away.
That's a win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17 wins.
That's top 4.
Yeah.
Can you feel
your top 4? Just play it now.
No. I'm being professional.
On.
Don't drag me down.
You know
it
you
works
want
both ways, Timmy.
You know you want it.
Now you're tempting.
Let's go to James at Crapers. G'day, James.
G'day, guys. I'm normally critical of the AFL. I want to throw a couple of bouquets away this week.
Do that.
Wow.
AFL Hall of Fame, I thought it was a brilliant night.
Yes, it is.
I want to first off acknowledge Graham Corns' work on the committee for the nominations. He's really put a balanced flavour to what's happened to people getting inducted the last few years. I do remember watching Peter Daly play. I am that old. I admit to condensation in the corner of my eye with Erin Phillips' speech. It was very, very moving. And the AFL, with their recent appointments, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of the guy from Brisbane, but a very good appointment.
Greg Swan.
Swanee.
Yeah. And in particular, the last one, who will start next year, that ex-Port Adelaide champion, Tom Harley.
Tom
I love it.
They haven't acknowledged he played for Port Adelaide.
You got the one game in, James.
He was a Nord man before he was a Port man, Jimmy.
I love it.
And you got rid of him, and then he became a champion.
Hey, no, I don't barrack for him, but Timmy always says anyone who's played for Port Adelaide is a champion.
And he's always welcome. He's always
All right,
welcome.
thanks,
Great call,
guys. Have a
James.
good night.
Well done, man. And it's nice to throw a few bouquets when they're there. I've got to say, though, there was a bit of Twitter activity, or X as they call it now, just around the non-selection of Dustin Fletcher. Which, you know, I'll say to you all the time, I always go, in the Hall of Fame, I always go to you, I thought that Bone was already in.
Yeah.
I thought Mark Williams was already in. I didn't know these. And then your message to say well done and all the rest of it. But I didn't know Dustin Fletcher, 400 games, fullback champion, double premiership, you name it. The record speaks for itself, as you say.
Yeah.
How could he not be in?
Could he not be
That
in?
is a big oversight. They've got to fix that quick.
We've got a couple of unique home-style food texts. A lot of people still wanting to comment about Lockie Murphy. I thought this one summed up most of them. When it comes to Crow's selection with Murph, I want to quote from last night's show a great man in George Fiarchi. He said in quote, unquote, brackets, anything is possible if you have photos.
I'm dumping that.
He did.
That is
Why?
not a good enough text
Did
to
you
read
dump
to
that?
Yes.
What? Timmy, why would you dump that?
I think we'll go to the races.
Why would you? Oh, you're kidding.
Can't let that go to air. 5AA's Best of SA is coming up. We are, of course, celebrating and profiling some great brands in our state. Timmy can't believe you
I
read
don't
that.
get the link to that. What's wrong with that?
You know why. We are celebrating the great company Pepper's Truck Wash. Peppers, they are fantastic people too, Ray.
They
are. Truck strength cleaning products for your car, caravan, boat or home. peppersaustralia.com.au. If you want to head along to the Best of SA dinner, we've got 2 tickets plus some Pepper's Truck Wash gift pack to give away. Call in now, 8223 0055. Let's check your roads.
At McDonald Park, 4-car collision on the Northern Expressway near the Curtis Road off-ramp. Got delays back a couple of Ks at the moment. Not great news for Friday, are they? Ross Trevor, burst water main, Glen Stewart Road near Moles Road. Speeds at 25 and slow for works at Kidman Park. Fended Road near Peltana Street. Cameras, McKenna Road, Christie's Downs and Military Road at Westlake Shore. South Australia, RAA Rewards is here with hundreds of ways to save every day. It's better to be a member with RAA Rewards. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Local stories, local success, local pride. Let's share it all with 5AA's Best of SA.
When you choose Explorer Caravans, you're choosing a family of caravanners who know what it's like out on the road and off the grid. Your caravan has to be reliable, well-built and tough. And Explorer Caravans offer a design studio to help you create your state-of-the-art mobile living space.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Ray White Business Sales and Adelaide's 5AA.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of impeccable class and style offer a range of suits by leading Italian brands, including tailor-made wedding packages for the groom and groomsmen. Order 3 tailor-made suits and pay just $799 for each. Order 4 or more for just $749 per suit. Phenomenal value for a quality tailor-made suit. See Ignition for Men for tailor-made wedding packages. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. ignitionformen.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Over 75% sold. Wow! Tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery are over 75% sold. Win the life-changing $3 million Scott Salisbury Grand Prize, fully furnished and mortgage-free. And with over 11,000 more prizes, you have a 1 in 15 chance to win. homelottery.com.au. Life-changing prizes. Life-changing impact. homelottery.com.au. Licence M14727.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's Friday night, and that means Rusden night. Yeah, I tell you what.
It's a really red night tonight.
Yeah, I'm just sort of floating.
Full moon.
I'm floating on a drift sand at the moment.
Okay,
That's one of their
that's a good
beautiful
one.
reds, of course.
Sand scrub.
Sand scrub's the top,
Boundaries?
top shelf. Boundaries, definitely. I think tonight I'll start with the drift sand because, you know, I'm a big fan of Rusden's. You know that. They've got those old vines and plenty of first-class wines.
It's a great drive up there, and when you get there, you got to go to the Rusden's cellar door. Yeah. 7 generations, just driving up that drive with the vines on each side.
Lovely bit of gravel as you come in, the sound of gravel.
Yeah, 120-year-old farmhouse with a beautiful front door.
See the basket press right there?
Right to the right, you can too. It's great. And you get meat by some beautiful smillions.
Yeah.
Is that it? Smillion? Smelly ones.
No, they're not smelly, no.
Christian's the winemaker. That's the word. That's the word.
Semillions?
They'll go through the whole range and you will absolutely love it. So do yourself a favour. Just take a visit to the cellar door, get down to the Barossa, make your next red a Rusden. They do white wine as well. Their Uncle Port is elite.
I had one of those over the long weekend because it was a bit cold on the Sunday.
It was.
So I said, I think we need an Uncle Port.
God, they're sport.
Did it beautifully. Look, check them out. Get on the website, rusdenwines.com.au.
Finding the perfect Volkswagen is easy at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. Even easier during their end of financial year sale. Choose from a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options. On-site finance and next-day servicing. How easy is that? Too easy. Get a great drive-away deal during the end of financial year clearance. Ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Don't miss the Cheapest Chips Chippy Rewards Super Sale this weekend.
Cheapest Chips.
Members get 30% off clothing, so sign up and start saving. Offer ends this Sunday. Live cheaper at the Chippy Rewards Super Sale at Cheapest Chips.
You wake up with a runny nose. Maybe it's just a cold, but that scratchy throat. This might be serious. A little sniffle can cause a lot of worry. Test for COVID, flu A, flu B and RSV with one simple AHPC 4-in-1 antigen test. AHPC provides reliable results in just minutes and is available in single use and packs of 10 for value-priced family testing. AHPC 4-in-1 antigen tests. Available at leading chemists and Amazon.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 6. Very soon you'll hear from Scotty Burns. In full, you'll hear from Dizzy Gillespie as well. And if you missed the Port Adelaide team earlier, Manny Liddy has been named for his AFL debut for Sunday. Jordan Sweet and Horn Francis returned for Port Adelaide. Finlayson's gone out, so has Christian Moraes. And Travis Boak has been managed once again. So that's Port's team for Sunday. Let's do some tips for the weekend.
Timmy and Terry's tips.
Oh, Terry, great to see you last week in the commentary box. And I think it lifted you to a new level.
Did.
What an outstanding week. Now, we spoke about will he be a factor? That was, we were looking for the mudlarks, the wet trackers. Now, he only just got beat, didn't he?
Got nailed right on the line. He was $35 when I gave you the tip last Friday night. He ended up running probably half that. There was good money for him on race day when the track became really rain affected. But, just got nailed on the line. But the race before was okay.
Well, I was just about to say, it's still, when you told me about it, I got a little each way on it. And so it was $8 a place at the time when I backed it. How's that? $8 a place. So can't get in trouble for that, Terry. And then you're right. Now, I can't pronounce it. Is it Nostria?
Yeah, Nostria.
What a race that was. Now, that won and paid $27, didn't it, the win?
Yeah, it did. Did a super job as well. It was forced to do a fair bit of work in the run, so it didn't look good while the race was unfolding. But, the horse got the job done and had a big price for us, boys.
Oh, it was awesome, mate. It made my 2 seconds look very sick. So well done to you. I know our good friend Adam, who always likes to chime in on the tips, he said his horse actually ran 4th last week. Congratulations, Adam, on that. He's got a little each ways happening tomorrow. He likes Smart Little Miss and Best Bet of the Day, race 6, Burning Bright. So that's his selections.
Burning Bright, and she does find it hard to win. She's had 27 starts, 2 wins, but 8 seconds.
Wow.
and 5 thirds. So I think she's certainly got a really good chance. And I know John Kelton, my offside, has got her in his numbers as well. That's actually where my roughie's going to be tomorrow in that same race, number 14, Covert Witness. Now, it's got a horrific strike rate. It's only ever won one race, but it's only had 3 runs for Hannah Bryce, who's only just got her trainer's licence. It's run really well for her each time. Rochelle Milnes is riding tomorrow, and I think it's got a really good chance at nice odds, race 6, number 14, Covert Witness.
Excellent, Terry. Written that one down. Rochelle being an apprentice, she'll claim a little bit on the weight. Yep, beautiful. Nice one. Who else you got?
And I thought the best bet on the program, and John agrees here, that this looks the standout bet, race 4, number 5, Out of Square. Only lightly raced, good stable with Richard and Chantel Jolly. It's won 4 of its last 5 starts. And Jake Toeroke riding, he's actually unbeaten on it. He's had 3 rides on Out of Square for a 100% record, 3 wins. So I thought it was the standout bet. And John agrees, the best on the program, race 4, number 5, Out of Square.
Well done there. Now, I've got my little winner, I would like to say, my win bet is race 10. Because we got 10 on the card at Murray Bridge tomorrow, so big day there.
Just a lazy 10. John Kelton's actually about to jet off overseas tomorrow night. He's heading to Europe, but he's just got a lazy 10 races to work his way through tomorrow at Murray Bridge.
Perfect prep.
So, perfect prep. He'll be looking for that plane, no doubt. What have you got in the last tip?
High on Sugar.
Yeah, John's with it as well. He thought it was the one to beat.
I've got twins all week this week, and they seem to be high on sugar, so I don't know what they're doing to them. And I thought race 5, number 2, Sir Now. It's a very consistent horse.
Oh, he's got a great record. He's won 5 of his 11 starts, and this is another jockey with a good record on a horse. Maggie Collins had 6 rides on Sir Now for 4 wins and a second, so certainly looks to be one of the good chances in that race. That's where Adam's tip actually is, race 5 as well. He's gone for that, you mentioned, number 11, Smart Little Miss.
Correct, yes. Well, there's a trifecta I can put together there, no drama about it. Put Fickle in it and I'm done. Hey, Terry, thanks very much, mate. Let's hope we have as much luck as we did last week.
And we had a great weekend last weekend because our football teams all won, which is a very rare occurrence.
Great call.
Adelaide won and Port Adelaide won.
Great call. Yeah, well, trifecta.
All right.
Close. Well done, Terry. Thanks very much for your time, buddy.
Enjoy the weekend, boys.
Will do. Racing.com's Terry McAuliffe.
Okay, now we've got to give away that Rusden Blackguts.
Yep.
All thanks to Rusden Wines in the Barossa Valley.
I like the caller that backed in Peds for midfield minutes, backed in Rankin to go forward and said Murphy can't kick goal.
David at Blair.
David.
That's him.
Congratulations.
Bottle of Rusden Blackguts, you'll love that.
All good. RusdenWines.com.au. They're in the Barossa Valley. They are the home of the Blackguts. So we got to get to the 6 o'clock news. Scotty Burns from the Crows next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Here's one for the tradies and weekend tourers. Why blow the budget on accessories when you can get the gear that gets you there?